away from the car!
She didn't think. She just ran. Her boots slipped on ice. She grabbed his arm and pulled hard. He stumbled back. The car exploded. Heat. Glass. A sound so loud it felt like being underwater. They hit the snow. She couldn't hear anything except ringing. When the smoke cleared, she saw it in the snow. A small metal tag. The kind mechanics clip to keys. Bent and blackened. But she could still read the stamped letters. Bell Auto. Her chest went tight. Marjorie Bell owned that shop. Sweet Marjorie who organized the church fundraiser. Marjorie who'd handed him those keys this morning with a hug and a blessing. Marjorie who'd stopped by the diner 2 hours ago. Who'd leaned against the counter, smiling. Who'd asked so casually, "Parking lot camera still broken, honey?" Someone had put this man in a rigged car. Someone had checked the camera first. How long had Marjorie been planning to kill him? Before we begin, if you could tap subscribe and like, it would mean so much to me. And if you don't mind, please leave a comment letting me know where you're listening from. May health and happiness find their way to you right where you are. All right then, let's begin today's story. Chapter 2. The Welcome Committee. 3 months earlier, November 3rd, Lily stood in the back of the community center meeting hall. The room smelled like old carpet and burnt coffee. About 40 people sat in folding chairs. Most of them were over 60. Marjorie Bell stood at the front near a projector screen. She wore a navy dress and pearls. Her smile looked warm and genuine. "We're losing our center," Marjorie said. Her voice carried easily. "The county says if we can't raise $50,000 by January, they'll shut us down and sell the building." An older woman in the front row gasped. Others murmured. "But I have good news," Marjorie continued. "I've been in contact with Evan Grant. Some of you may have seen his name in the papers. He's a philanthropist from Chicago. His foundation gives money to small towns trying to preserve community spaces." Lily watched from the back. She'd come because her mom had asked her to. Her mom volunteered at the center twice a week, teaching a quilting class. "Evan Grant is interested in our town," Marjorie said. "But he wants to visit first. Meet us. See what we're about. He'll come in December, right before Christmas." Deputy Tom Reyes sat in the third row. He was in uniform, his arms crossed. Lily knew Tom. He came into the diner every morning for coffee and eggs. He was a decent guy. Fair. But he cared a lot about the town's reputation. Tom raised his hand. "What does he need from us?" Marjorie smiled wider. "Just a warm welcome. We'll show him our town at its best. The Christmas decorations, the community spirit. We'll have a small reception at the center. Nothing fancy, just real people showing real hospitality." After the meeting, Lily walked out with her mom. The parking lot was dark. Street lights buzzed overhead. "I'm glad someone's helping," her mom said. She pulled her coat tighter. "I'd hate to lose that place." Lily nodded. She checked her phone. She had the early shift tomorrow. 4:30 wake-up. A car pulled up next to them. Marjorie's silver Buick. The window rolled down. "Lily, honey," Marjorie called out. "Can I talk to you for just a second?" Lily's mom smiled and walked toward their car. Lily stepped closer to Marjorie's window. "Your mom tells me you work at Murphy's Diner," Marjorie said. "That's right on Main Street, isn't it?" "Yes, ma'am. Perfect spot for visitors to see," Marjorie said. She tilted her head, studying Lily. "When Evan Grant comes to town, he'll probably stop there for breakfast. Would you mind keeping an eye out? Let me know what he thinks of our town. Just friendly conversation. Nothing sneaky." Lily hesitated. Something about the request felt off, but Marjorie was smiling. Everyone trusted Marjorie. "Sure," Lily said. "I can do that." "Wonderful." Marjorie reached through the window and patted Lily's hand. "You're a good girl. Your mother raised you right." The Buick drove away. Lily stood there for a moment. The November air was cold. Dead leaves skittered across the parking lot. She told herself she was being paranoid. Marjorie just wanted to save the community center. That was a good thing. But something in Marjorie's smile had felt like a test. Chapter 3. The Notice. November 20th. Lily sat at the kitchen table in her mom's apartment. A stack of mail sat between them. Bills, mostly. Her mom sorted through them slowly. She'd had a bad week. Her arthritis was acting up. Some days she could barely hold a pen. "Here's that clinic bill," her mom said quietly. She pushed an envelope toward Lily. Lily opened it. Her stomach sank. $840. Due in 30 days. Her mom's insurance had denied the claim. Something about the medication being not medically necessary. "I can appeal it," her mom said. She didn't sound hopeful. Lily did the math in her head. She'd been saving for a new transmission for her car. The mechanic said it would go out soon. She had about $600 set aside. If she used that for the bill, she'd have nothing for the car. If the transmission died, she couldn't get to work. If she couldn't get to work, she'd lose her job. "I'll figure it out," Lily said. She tried to sound confident. Her mom looked at her with tired eyes. "You always do, honey. I don't know what I'd do without you." That night, Lily worked the dinner shift at the diner. Tips were slow. A family of 5 left $3 on a $40 check. A businessman left nothing at all. She counted her cash at the end of the night. $62. After taxes, that would be maybe $50. She sat in her car in the parking lot. The engine ticked as it cooled down. She was so tired she could barely think straight. Her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Hi, Lily. This is Marjorie Bell. I heard about your mother's medical bill. If you need help, I know people who can work with payment plans. Call me anytime." Lily stared at the screen. How did Marjorie know about the bill? Had her mom mentioned it to someone at the quilting class? She didn't call. But she saved the number. 2 days later, her car started making a grinding sound when she shifted gears. The transmission was going. She had maybe a week before it died completely. She sat in the diner break room during her shift. The room was tiny. A table, 2 chairs, a microwave that only heated things on the left side. The schedule was taped to the wall. She was down to 4 shifts next week. Usually she got 5. May, the diner manager, came in with her clipboard. May was in her 50s, tough but fair. "I'm sorry, Lily," May said. "Corporate's cutting hours across the board. You're one of the newer hires, so you're getting hit first." "I understand," Lily said. She didn't, but arguing wouldn't help. May hesitated at the door. "If you need extra work, Marjorie Bell was asking if anyone could help set up for that big donor reception in December. It pays under the table, but it's something." After May left, Lily sat there staring at the schedule. 4 shifts, maybe $200 a week. That wouldn't even cover rent. She pulled out her phone, looked at Marjorie's number. She told herself it was just accepting help. Nothing wrong with that. Marjorie helped everyone. She sent a text. "Hi, Mrs. Bell. This is Lily Carter. May said you might have some work helping with the reception." The response came immediately. "Yes, honey. Can you stop by the auto shop tomorrow around 2? We'll talk details." Lily typed back. "See you then." She felt relieved. And also, somewhere deep down, uneasy. Sometimes when you ask for help, you don't realize you're handing someone a hook. Chapter 4. The Arrival. December 19th. Morning. The diner was busy. Christmas decorations hung in the windows. Tinsel? Colored lights. A plastic Santa that had been there since Lily started working 2 years ago. She refilled coffee for the usual breakfast crowd. Farmers. Retired teachers. Tom Reyes in his corner booth. At 8:15, a black Lexus pulled up outside. Clean. Expensive. Wrong for this town. A man got out. Tall. Silver hair. "Nice coat." He looked around Main Street like he was studying it. "Evan Grant." He came inside. The bell over the door jingled. Conversations paused. Everyone looked. May greeted him at the counter. "Good morning. Sit anywhere you like." He chose a booth by the window. Lily grabbed a menu and a coffee pot. "Morning," she said. She set down the menu. "Coffee? Please." He had a kind face. Tired eyes. "Thank you." She poured. "You're not from around here." He smiled slightly. "That obvious? The car's a hint." She pulled out her order pad. "You here for business or just passing through?" "Business, I suppose. Though I'm hoping it feels like more than that." He opened the menu. "What's good here?" "Everything's good if you're hungry enough." She smiled. "The pancakes are solid. The hash browns are better. Skip the bacon." It's been sitting since 6. He laughed. A real laugh. Honest. I like that. I'll take the pancakes and hash browns. When she brought his food, he was looking out the window at the decorated street. Christmas lights were strung between the old buildings. Someone had put a wreath on the war memorial. Pretty town, he said. It tries. Lily set down his plate. You thinking about moving here? Just visiting. Meeting some people about a community project. The center, Lily said. It wasn't a question. You know about it? Small town. Everyone knows everything. She refilled his coffee. Or thinks they do. He studied her face. You don't sound entirely sold on the project. She should have kept her mouth shut. But something about him felt safe, like he actually wanted the truth. I think the center's worth saving, she said carefully. I'm just not sure everyone involved has the same reasons for saving it. Before he could respond, the door opened. Marjorie came in. She wore a red coat and that warm smile. Evan! She swept toward him like he was a long-lost friend. You made it. How was the drive? Lily stepped back. Marjorie slid into the booth across from him without being invited. I'm so glad you came early, Marjorie said. We have the whole day planned. I want to show you the center, introduce you to the board, take you by the church. You'll love our pastor. Evan looked slightly overwhelmed, but he smiled. That sounds wonderful. Marjorie finally noticed Lily standing there. Her smile didn't change, but something in her eyes did. Lily's been taking good care of you, I hope. Very good care, Evan said. Best hash browns I've had in years. She's a treasure, Marjorie said. She said it the way you'd say it about a useful object. Lily, honey, can you bring us 2 coffees and maybe some of those little pastries? Actually, I'm finished, Evan said. He pulled out his wallet. Just the check, please. Lily brought it. He left a 20 on a $12 tab. Keep it, he said quietly as he stood. Marjorie linked her arm through his. Come on, I'll give you the grand tour. They left together. Through the window, Lily watched Marjorie guide him toward a car. Not his Lexus. A different car. A loaner from Bell Auto, probably. Tom Reyes appeared next to Lily at the counter. She hadn't heard him walk up. He seems like a decent guy, Tom said. Yeah, Lily said. Marjorie will take good care of him. Tom's voice was neutral. Too neutral? Lily looked at him. You think so? Tom set down money for his breakfast. Exact change. I think we all want this town to do well. Sometimes that means showing people the best version of ourselves. He paused. Even if it's not the whole picture. He left. Lily stood there with Evan's $20 bill in her hand. She thought about Marjorie's arm linked through his, about the loaner car, about the way everyone was performing niceness. Something felt staged, rehearsed, like they were all actors, and Evan Grant was the only person who didn't know he was in a play. Chapter 5. The Back Office, December 19th. Evening, Lily's last day helping set up for tomorrow's reception. She was in the community center kitchen stacking chairs. Her back hurt. She'd been here since her diner shift ended at 3. The center was old, built in the 60s. Cracked linoleum floors, fluorescent lights that buzzed, a gym that smelled like decades of sweat and floor wax. Marjorie came into the kitchen carrying boxes of decorations. Almost done, honey? Just finishing the chairs. You've been such a help. Marjorie set down the boxes. I want to pay you for your time. How does $300 sound? Cash, tonight. $300. Lily's transmission repair was going to cost $450. With this, she'd almost have enough. That's generous, Lily said. You earned it. Marjorie pulled an envelope from her purse. Actually, I was hoping you could help with one more thing. The diner. Tomorrow morning. Lily waited. Evan's staying at the motel out on Route 6, Marjorie said. He'll probably stop at Murphy's for breakfast before the reception. Could you maybe encourage him to take one of our loaner cars? His Lexus isn't great in snow, and the forecast says we're getting 6 inches overnight. Why does it matter what car he drives? Lily asked. Marjorie's smile flickered. Just for a second. It doesn't, really. I just want him to feel taken care of. We're a helpful community. That's what I want him to see. He seems like he can take care of himself. Of course. Marjorie's voice stayed warm, but her eyes went flat. I'm probably being overly motherly. Forget I asked. She handed Lily the envelope. $300, just like she'd promised. Thank you for everything, Marjorie said. I'll see you tomorrow at the reception. After Marjorie left, Lily stood in the empty kitchen. The envelope felt heavy. She needed to leave. But she'd left her jacket in the small office next to the gym. She walked back through the dim hallway. The office door was cracked open. A light was on inside. Lily pushed the door wider. The office was tiny. A desk, a filing cabinet, a broken copier in the corner. On the desk was a folder. Open, papers spread out. She shouldn't look. She knew she shouldn't. But one of the papers had Evan Grant's name on it. She stepped closer. Read quickly. It was an insurance policy. On the community center building. Recent. Dated 3 weeks ago. The beneficiary if anything happened to the building Marjorie Bell, as board president. Underneath that was another paper. A maintenance log from Bell Auto. It listed a car. A specific car. Service notes. Brake line inspection. Recommended replacement declined by owner. The car number matched something Lily had seen earlier on a key tag in Marjorie's purse. Loaner, about 12. Her heart started pounding. She heard footsteps in the hallway. Lily grabbed her jacket and moved quickly toward the side exit. She pushed through the door into the cold night air. In her car, she sat shaking. She didn't understand what she'd seen. Not completely, but she understood enough to feel sick. Marjorie wanted Evan Grant in a specific car. A car with bad brakes. A car that shouldn't be on the road. And tomorrow morning, Marjorie wanted Lily to encourage him to take it. Lily drove home through streets that suddenly felt unfamiliar. Every Christmas light looked too bright. Every shadow too dark. She thought about the $300 in her purse, money she needed desperately. She thought about what Marjorie was really asking her to do. Sometimes the price of help is higher than you think. Chapter 6. The Chain. December 20th, 6:45 in the morning. The moment before everything changes. Lily had barely slept. She'd stared at her ceiling all night, replaying what she'd seen in that office. The insurance policy. The brake line notes. Loaner, about 12. At 6:30, she gave up on sleep. Drove to the diner. The roads were covered in fresh snow, just like the forecast had predicted. She parked in the back lot. The lot camera was still broken. Had been for 2 weeks. She remembered now. Marjorie had asked about it. Twice. Nothing is ever just a question with some people. Lily went inside. May was already there, starting the coffee. Big day, May said. Reception starts at 10. I bet half the town shows up. Lily put on her apron. Her hands wouldn't stop shaking. You okay? May asked. Didn't sleep much. At 7:30, the Lexus pulled up outside. Evan Grant got out. He wore the same nice coat. He looked tired, too. He came in and sat in the same booth as yesterday. Lily brought coffee. Set it down carefully. Morning, Evan said. You working the reception later? Probably not. I'm just helping with breakfast rush. He nodded. Looked out at the snowy street. This town really does go all out for Christmas. Lily should say something. She should warn him. But about what? What did she actually know? That Marjorie wanted him in a specific car? That the car had bad brakes? That didn't mean anything criminal. Maybe Marjorie was just being paranoid about his expensive car in the snow. Maybe Lily was the one being paranoid. You seem worried, Evan said. Lily looked at him. This man who'd driven hours to help a town he didn't know. Who left big tips. Who had kind eyes. The roads are bad today, she said carefully. If someone offers you a different car, maybe just check it first. Make sure it feels safe. He tilted his head, studying her. That's specific advice. Before she could respond, the door opened. Marjorie came in. Red coat. Big smile. Perfect timing. Evan, good morning. She walked right up to his booth. I saw your car outside. You drove the Lexus in this snow? I managed. You're braver than me. Marjorie laughed. Listen, I feel terrible that you're risking that beautiful car on our messy roads. I brought you a loaner from my shop. 4-wheel drive. Much safer. We'll park your Lexus somewhere dry until you leave tomorrow. She dangled keys. A tag hung from them. Loaner, about 12. Lily's chest went tight. Evan hesitated. That's thoughtful, but I'm fine with my own car. I insist, Marjorie said. Her voice stayed light, but there was steel underneath. It's literally parked right outside, already warmed up. I won't take no for an answer. Evan looked at Lily. Something in his expression said he'd heard the warning in her earlier words. But he was a polite man, a man who didn't want to offend the woman who was hosting him. All right, he said. If you're sure it's no trouble. No trouble at all. Marjorie beamed. I'll trade you keys right now. They stood. Evan handed over his Lexus keys. Marjorie pressed the loaner keys into his hand. The car's the blue Chevy right out front, Marjorie said. You can't miss it. I'll see you at the center at 10. She left. The warmth left with her. Evan stood there with the keys. He looked at Lily. You were trying to tell me something. I don't know, Lily said honestly. Maybe nothing. Maybe I'm imagining things. But you don't think so. She didn't answer. He put the keys in his coat pocket. Thank you for the coffee. And for trying. After he left, Lily stood at the window. She watched him walk toward the blue Chevy. Watched him unlock it. Watched him get in. The engine started. Exhaust puffed white in the cold air. He pulled out of the parking spot slowly. Careful. The car moved fine. Maybe she was wrong. Maybe Marjorie was just being helpful. Maybe Lily's paranoia was making her see threats that didn't exist. But then she remembered the insurance policy, the beneficiary line, the maintenance notes about brakes. And she remembered something else. The reception started at 10. The community center was on Maple Street. But Marjorie had told Evan to come early. 9:30. Said she wanted to show him the building before the crowd arrived. The route from the motel to the center went down Hillside Road. A steep hill. A sharp turn at the bottom. In snow, you needed good brakes. Lily tore off her apron. May looked up from the register. I have to go, Lily said. Your shift isn't over. I have to go. She ran outside. The blue Chevy was gone. She jumped in her car. Her transmission ground, but caught. She drove fast toward Hillside Road. She didn't have a plan. She just knew she had to stop him before he went down that hill. She caught up to him at the traffic light on Main Street. The blue Chevy was 2 cars ahead. The light turned green. Lily followed. Her heart hammered. They turned onto Hillside Road. The road was white. No tire tracks yet. No one had driven it since the snow. The Chevy started down the hill, slowly at first. Then Lily saw it happen. The brake lights flashed. Once, twice. Then they stayed on. Constant. Bright red. He was standing on the brakes. And the car wasn't slowing down. Lily hit her horn. Held it. The Chevy was picking up speed. She pulled alongside him. Rolled down her window. Screamed over the wind. Jump out! Your brakes are gone. But he was going too fast now. The turn was coming up at the bottom. A sharp 90-degree turn with a ditch on the far side. He couldn't make that turn. Not at this speed. Lily saw the community center parking lot up ahead on the right. Before the turn. If she could get him to aim for it instead of the road, she pulled ahead. Cut in front of him. Her car skidded. She straightened it. Pointed toward the parking lot entrance. Behind her, the blue Chevy followed her line. They both crashed through the parking lot entrance. Lily's car spun. The Chevy kept going, straight toward the center building. And that's when Lily saw it. The blue Chevy wasn't just going to hit the building, it was going to explode. Because Marjorie had needed 2 things. She needed Evan Grant dead, and she needed the building destroyed. Insurance money, sympathy, maybe even blame the accident on faulty construction. Get the county to pay out, too. 1 car, 2 birds. Lily jumped out while her car was still moving. She ran toward the blue Chevy. It was heading straight for the front doors. Evan was slumped over the wheel. Maybe unconscious. Maybe just gave up. She reached the car, grabbed the door handle. It was locked. She pounded on the window. Step away from the car. He looked up, dazed, confused. Get out! She screamed it. Now! He reached for the door handle, unlocked it, started to push it open. And that's when the car exploded. The same heat, the same sound, the same smoke. But this time, Lily understood why. Chapter 7. The Quiet Pressure. December 20th. 2 hours after the explosion. They were in the sheriff's station. Small building. 3 offices and a holding cell that hadn't been used in 5 years. Evan sat in one of the plastic chairs. Someone had given him coffee he wasn't drinking. Lily sat next to him. Her hands still shook. Sheriff Morris stood by the window. He was 62, thin, tired-looking. He'd held this job for 30 years. "Tell me again," he said. "From the beginning." Lily had told him twice already. The maintenance notes. The insurance policy. Marjorie's insistence that Evan take that specific car. "And you found these papers where?" Sheriff Morris asked. "In the office at the community center." The folder was just sitting there. "So you went through private papers that didn't belong to you." Lily's stomach dropped. "I was picking up my jacket." The folder was open. "I saw Evan's name. But you looked through it. Read everything. Took nothing. Told no one until after the explosion." "I didn't know what it meant," Lily said. "Not for sure. I thought maybe I was wrong." Sheriff Morris looked at Evan. "You're the victim here, mister." "Grant! What do you want to do?" Evan set down the coffee. "I want to know why someone tried to kill me." "We'll investigate," the sheriff said. "But I want to be clear about something. Marjorie Bell has lived in this town for 40 years. She's respected. She runs half the charitable organizations. If we accuse her of attempted murder based on— What? An insurance policy that's probably standard? Brake lines that might have just been old?" "The car exploded," Lily said. "We don't know why yet. Could have been a fuel leak. Could have been electrical. We'll have the fire marshal look at it." Sheriff Morris rubbed his face. "Look, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying we need evidence before we destroy someone's reputation." "What about the maintenance log?" Evan asked. "If the shop knew the brakes were bad and still loaned out the car, that's negligence at minimum." "I'll talk to Marjorie," the sheriff said, but quietly. No accusations, just questions. They left the station together. The afternoon sun was bright on the snow. Evan's Lexus was parked across the street. Someone had brought it from the diner. "You should leave," Lily said. "Go back to Chicago. This town isn't safe." "That's probably good advice." Evan looked at the sheriff's station. "But if I leave, nothing happens. Marjorie gets away with it. And maybe she tries again with the next donor who comes through." "You think there'll be a next one?" "There's always a next one." He pulled out his phone. "I'm going to make some calls. I know people who investigate financial fraud. If Marjorie's been manipulating insurance policies or misusing nonprofit funds, they'll find it." Lily's phone buzzed. A text from May. "People are asking questions. Might want to lie low for a bit." Another text. "Unknown number. You should have stayed out of this." Then another from Tom Reyes. "Coffee at the diner." "Now." She showed Evan the texts. "That was fast," he said. "Small town," Lily said. "Word travels." She drove to the diner. Tom's cruiser was already there. He sat in his usual corner booth. Lily slid in across from him. He didn't smile. "You made a lot of people uncomfortable today," Tom said. "I saved someone's life." "Maybe. Or maybe you misunderstood what you saw and jumped to conclusions." He leaned forward. "Marjorie called me an hour ago. She's devastated. She said she's been loaning out that car for years. It passed inspection 6 months ago. She had no idea the brakes were bad. The maintenance log says a mechanic recommended new brake lines. Marjorie declined because the car was being retired anyway. She thought she was loaning Evan a newer vehicle. Got the keys mixed up. It sounded almost reasonable. Almost. And the insurance policy?" Lily asked. "Standard for board presidents. If something happens to the building, the board has funds to rebuild. She's not personally profiting." Tom's voice was steady. "Practiced? Look, I know you meant well, but you're making this town look bad. We had a chance at real funding. Now Evan Grant probably thinks we're all criminals. Someone tried to kill him. Or a car had mechanical failure." Tom stood. "Lily, you're not a detective. You're not a lawyer. You're a waitress who looked at papers you didn't understand and made assumptions." He paused at the booth. "People are going to remember this. Just think about that." He left. Lily sat alone. Through the window, she saw Marjorie's silver Buick drive past. Slow. Marjorie looked straight at her, smiled, and kept driving. Chapter 8. The Paper Trail. December 22nd. 2 days after the explosion, Evan hadn't left town. He'd moved to a different motel, 2 towns over. He called Lily that morning. "I found something," he said. "Can you meet me?" They met at a diner 30 miles away, far enough that no one would see them. Evan had a laptop and a folder of printed papers spread across the booth. He looked like he hadn't slept, but his eyes were sharp. "I called an investigator friend in Chicago," he said. "Asked him to look into the community center's finances, specifically Marjorie Bell's transactions." He turned the laptop toward Lily. A spreadsheet. Columns of numbers. "The center receives donations," Evan said. "Small amounts mostly. $5 here, 20 there. Old people on fixed incomes giving what they can. Those donations are supposed to go into the center's operating fund. But they don't? Some do. But look at these entries." He pointed to a column. "Every month, there's a withdrawal labeled Building Maintenance, Bell Auto, usually around $500. "She's paying herself?" Lily asked. "For services never rendered." Evan pulled out another paper. "I got the county's maintenance inspection records. The center hasn't had any major work done in 3 years. No furnace repairs, no roof work, nothing that would cost $500 a month." Lily looked at the numbers. 12 months, $6,000 a year. For how many years? "That's embezzlement," she said. "Small scale. But yes." Evan sat back. "Now add in the insurance policy. If the building had been destroyed in the explosion, Marjorie would have gotten $250,000. She could have blamed the explosion on faulty construction, collected insurance, walked away clean, and no one would have questioned it, because she's Marjorie Bell, the good woman who tried so hard to save the center." "Exactly." Evan rubbed his eyes. "But here's the problem. What I have is circumstantial. The financial stuff is solid, but it's small-time fraud. The explosion, we can't prove she rigged it. The fire marshal says it could have been an accident, so she gets away with it, unless we find something concrete, the actual proof that she tampered with the car, or a witness, someone who knew what she was planning." Lily thought about the text messages, the quiet threats, the way Tom had looked at her. "No one's going to testify against her," Lily said. "This whole town protects her. Then we make noise somewhere bigger." Evan closed the laptop. "I have a friend at the Chicago Tribune. She writes investigative pieces. If I give her everything we have, she might run a story. It won't be enough to arrest Marjorie, but it'll be enough to stop the donation, cut off her access to funds, force an audit. That'll destroy the community center," Lily said. "All those people who actually need it. The quilting classes, the food bank, the after-school program." "I know." Evan looked pained. "But Marjorie will keep stealing, and maybe next time someone dies." Lily's phone buzzed. Another text. This one from her mom. "People are talking. They say you're trying to hurt Marjorie. Please be careful." Then another text. From May. "I'm sorry. Corporate says I have to let you go. Nothing personal." Lily showed Evan the screen. "They're isolating you," he said quietly. "Classic move. Make you unemployable. Make you dependent on them. Then offer you a way out if you just apologize and shut up." "What's the way out?" "Usually, money or a job. Somewhere far away from here." Evan met her eyes. "They'll probably approach you in the next day or 2. Marjorie will be kind, understanding. She'll say she knows you were just trying to help. She'll offer to make everything right. And if I take it, then she wins. And the next person who comes through this town might not be as lucky as I was." Lily looked at the spreadsheet, at the numbers, at the evidence of years of small, quiet thefts from people who could least afford it. She thought about her mom's clinic bills, her car transmission, the $300 in her purse that she still hadn't spent. She thought about the kind of person who lets someone else fight alone because the cost is too high. "When does your reporter friend want the information?" Lily asked. "Tonight. She's filing the story tomorrow." "Do it," Lily said. "I'll deal with whatever comes next." Evan smiled, sad but real. "You're braver than most people." "No," Lily said. "I'm just tired of being scared." Chapter 9. The Reception, January 2nd. 2 weeks after the explosion. The winter fundraiser was still happening. Marjorie had insisted. We can't let one unfortunate accident stop us from helping our community. The community center gym was decorated. Streamers, folding tables with donated cookies, a banner that read, "Thank you to our supporters." About 60 people showed up. Most of the town. They talked in small groups. Polite, careful. The explosion hung over everything like smoke. Evan Grant was there. Lily had been surprised when he'd texted to say he was coming. "I want to see this through," he'd written. Lily stood near the back wall. She hadn't been invited, but she'd come anyway. Her mom was here, sitting with the quilting group. She hadn't talked to Lily in 3 days. Marjorie stood at the front near a microphone. She wore a dark blue dress, respectful, mourning the near tragedy while celebrating resilience. "Thank you all for coming," Marjorie said. Her voice was warm, controlled. "These past 2 weeks have been difficult, but they've also shown what this community is really about. We take care of each other. We don't let fear divide us." Her eyes found Lily in the back, held for a moment, then moved on. "Now, I know there have been questions," Marjorie continued, "about the accident, about the finances of our center. I want to be transparent with you all." She picked up a folder. The sheriff completed his investigation. The fire marshal confirmed that the explosion was caused by a fuel leak. A tragic accident. No foul play. No one to blame. Murmurs through the crowd. Relief. People wanted this to be simple. "As for our finances," Marjorie said, "I've invited an independent auditor to review our books. I have nothing to hide. Every dollar donated to this center has been used exactly as intended." She was good. Lily had to admit it. Marjorie knew how to play to this room. "I also want to address something else," Marjorie said. Her voice softened. "There have been rumors, accusations from people who don't understand how small-town organizations work. It's hurt this community. It's hurt people I care about." She looked directly at Lily now. "But I don't hold grudges. I know fear makes people say things they don't mean. So I'm here to say publicly I forgive you, Lily, and I hope we can all move forward together." The room was silent. Everyone turned to look at Lily. This was the moment. This was where Lily was supposed to apologize. Say she'd been wrong. Accept Marjorie's gracious forgiveness. Lily stepped forward. Her legs felt shaky, but she kept walking. She stopped in the center of the room. "I don't need your forgiveness," Lily said. Her voice was quiet, but it carried. "Because I didn't do anything wrong." Marjorie's smile froze. "You tried to kill Evan Grant," Lily continued. "You put him in a car you knew would fail. You made sure the parking lot camera was broken so there'd be no evidence. You planned everything." Gasps. Angry mutters. Someone said, "How dare you?" "The sheriff said it was an accident," Marjorie said. Her voice stayed calm, but her hands gripped the podium. "You're embarrassing yourself, honey. Maybe the sheriff believes you. Or maybe he just doesn't want to look too close." Lily pulled out her phone. "But the Chicago Tribune doesn't have that problem." She held up the screen. The article had gone live that morning. The headline, "Beloved Small-Town Leader Accused of Fraud and Attempted Murder." "That article has every financial transaction you've made in the past 5 years," Lily said. "Every fake maintenance bill. Every dollar you stole from people who trusted you. And it has the maintenance records showing you knew that car was dangerous." The room erupted. People talking over each other. Tom Reyes stood up from his chair. His face was red. But Evan Grant stood too. He walked to the center of the room, next to Lily. "Everything in that article is documented," Evan said. His voice cut through the noise. "I paid for an independent investigation. The evidence is real, and it's now with the State Attorney General's office." Marjorie's face went white. The mask cracked. Just for a second, everyone saw what was underneath. Not grandmotherly warmth. Ice. "This town will never forgive you," Marjorie said. She said it to Lily, but she was looking at Evan too. "You've destroyed everything I built." "No," Lily said. "You did that yourself." Tom Reyes moved toward the front. "Everyone calm down." Let's not what?" Evan interrupted. "Pretend this didn't happen? That's what you've all been doing for years." Looking the other way because it was easier. Lily's mom stood up. She looked at Lily across the room. Her eyes were wet. "Is it true?" her mom asked. "All of it?" Lily nodded. Her mom turned to Marjorie. You helped me with my clinic bills? You said you knew people who could work out a payment plan. I did help you, Marjorie said. Did you help me? Or did you put me in debt to someone so I'd owe you a favor? Lily's mom's voice shook. Did you do that to everyone here? The room got very quiet. One by one, people started looking at each other, remembering the small loans, the job recommendations, the help that always came with invisible strings. I want a real audit, someone said. Old Mr. Chen, who donated his Social Security check every month for 3 years. So do I, said Mrs. Park. And me, said someone else. Marjorie looked around the room. She was losing them. Years of control unraveling. Fine, she said. Her voice was sharp now. The warmth completely gone. Audit everything. You won't find anything illegal. And when you don't, I'll remember every single person who doubted me. She grabbed her purse and walked out. The door slammed behind her. The room stayed quiet for a long moment. Then Tom Reyes cleared his throat. I'll call the state auditor tomorrow, he said quietly. We'll do this right. Lily's mom walked over. She pulled Lily into a hug. I'm sorry, she whispered. I should have believed you. It's okay, Lily said, but her voice cracked. Later, outside in the cold January air, Evan stood with Lily by her car. You did good in there, he said. I made a lot of people angry. You told the truth. That's harder. He pulled out an envelope. My foundation can't donate to this center anymore. Not until the investigation is complete. But I wanted to give you this. Personal check. For you. Lily opened it. $5,000. I can't take this, she said. You saved my life. And you lost your job standing up for what was right. Evan smiled. Let me do this one thing. Please. Lily looked at the check. She thought about her car, her mom's bills, the rent coming due. Thank you, she said quietly. Thank you, Evan said, for being the only person brave enough to care. He got in his Lexus and drove away. Back to Chicago. Back to his real life. Lily sat in her car. The gym lights were still on behind her. Through the window, she could see people talking. Some angry, some confused, some finally asking the right questions. Change wouldn't happen overnight. Marjorie might never face charges. The town might never fully forgive Lily for breaking the comfortable silence. But the silence was broken. And that was something. Chapter 10. Moving Forward. February 15th, 7 weeks after the explosion. Lily started her shift at a different diner. 30 miles away in the next town over. The pay was better. The tips were better. No one knew her story here. She'd moved too. A small apartment closer to work. Her mom came to visit twice a week. They were rebuilding. Slowly. The state audit had finished. Marjorie Bell had been embezzling for 6 years. $28,000 total. Not enough for serious prison time, but enough that she'd resigned from every board position. Bell Auto had closed. She'd moved to Arizona. People said her daughter lived there. The community center had survived. A new board was running it now. Evans Foundation had eventually donated after all. $50,000. Enough to keep it running for years. Tom Reyes had retired early. No investigation. No scandal. Just a quiet resignation and a pension. Lily's phone buzzed during her lunch break. A text from Evan. Saw you got a new job. Proud of you. She texted back. Thank you for everything. You did the hard part, he wrote. I just had resources. You had courage. She didn't feel courageous. She felt tired, but also lighter, like she'd put down something heavy she'd been carrying for years. That evening, she drove back to her old town. She wanted to see her mom. They were making dinner together, trying a new recipe. On the way, she passed the community center. The lights were on. People were inside. A sign on the door advertised a quilting class starting next week. She drove past the diner where she used to work. May was visible through the window. She waved when she saw Lily's car. A small wave, but genuine. Lily waved back. At her mom's apartment, they cooked chicken stir-fry. They talked about safe things. The weather. A show they both watched. Lily's new co-workers. You seem different, her mom said while they ate. Different how? I don't know. Calmer, maybe. Like you're not waiting for something bad to happen. Lily thought about that. I think I just learned that bad things happen whether you're careful or not. But so do good things. You can't control it. You just have to decide what kind of person you want to be when things get hard. Her mom smiled. When did you get so wise? I'm not wise. I just finally learned to say no when something feels wrong. Lily took a bite of rice, even when saying no is scary. Later, driving home under a clear February sky, Lily thought about Marjorie, about the way small corruptions become big ones when everyone looks away, about how easy it is to trade your voice for safety. She thought about the burned metal tag. Bell Auto, such a small piece of evidence, but enough to crack open the truth. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is trust what you see, even when everyone else says you're wrong. What would you have done if you'd found that tag in the snow? Thank you for listening. Take gentle care of yourself today, and remember your voice matters, even when it shakes.